Okay, so I'd love to do this video on my PC, but I got terrible sound on it because I haven't got an actual mic port on it. So all in one. Be wise, be wise. If you got an all in one PC, probably one of the mic thing set up on it, right? So I decided to look at BP's half profit results this morning because I didn't look at it at the beginning of the month that came out. I discovered a little something, right? Because I don't normally look at quarterly reports. I don't normally look at half reports half the time. Like the half year report, or interim report, mainly known as in the UK, is not something I tend to look at much. I look more at the annual results, right? So I can see what's going on for the year and compare it year on year, right? So if, say, I normally look to see if the net assets are increasing year on year, yeah? So if there's an overall trend in the up, then that's fine. If they're generally coming down, then maybe it'd be a point where, say, I bought a company at this much a share, it's now worth this much a share, well, now it's overvalued, so maybe it's worth selling it. Maybe they're going to recover, and I just carry on holding for the dividend, right? Anyway, prime example of whether or not you might want to look at a quarterly or may not want to look at a quarterly. It's a quarterly or not. Quarter or not quarter, right? I don't want to go with the title for this video. It sounds a bit shaky. Anyway, what's going to happen is there's going to be a bit of a surprise because BP, I know they took a loss with having to come out of Russia, but I didn't realise it was that big of a loss overall. They lost 20 billion in the first quarter, but they made 9.5 billion in the second quarter, which we've all heard about, I'm sure. But they're actually down 10.5 billion in terms of the P&L for this year. From a comprehensive income perspective, which is a different income report we have as part of the UK financial report, right? So if you're a UK business or a UK investment trust, whatever you're in, this is what you have to come under as, right? You have to apply to it. Applies to you, I should say. We have a bit of a mixed scenario in terms of fortunes when it comes to this income statement for a lot of companies. I've seen companies make a profit for the year and then lose it through comprehensive income, and then I've also seen them make a loss for the year and then gain it through comprehensive income, so they end up making a profit, right? So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Anyway, I haven't got that here on the phone because Trading 200 doesn't make it available. Also, Trading 202 has for some reason quoted all these figures in pounds and not dollars, because the pound amount would be less, because the dollar only buys like 80 odd pence right now, normally 70 odd pence, but so it's gained from that strength. And funnily enough, this is what BP did. They gained from a exchange rate, essentially, and they turned around that 20 billion with they call exchange gains on transaction of foreign operations reclassified to gain or loss on sale of businesses or fixed assets, right? Now this wouldn't be from Russia, this would be from something else, right? But also you got fixed assets. So basically they benefited from an exchange rate increase as a result of sales, fixed assets going up and so forth, to a tune of 10.7 billion, which turned their 20 billion loss into 9.3 in total. There's a couple of extra sources of income there, but they turned around to 9.364 billion as a loss. That's not bad going for the quarter, but that was a one-off extreme that they were able to do that with. The next quarter, they took a loss of 2.582 billion, taking that 9.5 down to 6.9. Now that's a different price to earnings ratio of score than it would be for the P&L. So this P&L is what you're going to be looking at, right? So a very nice quarter following a big down quarter, right? I don't know if that's a record loss for them. It's probably not far off a record loss, but it could be, right? So it's a bit of a clouded picture. Oh dear, I seem to have lost the screen. Never mind. And we're back, right? Okay, I did temporarily lose it. There's probably using your phone. Anyway, so it's a mixed picture. It's not the best result sometimes, right? And this is not financial advice. This is just how I prefer to look at things from a broader base. So yeah, they're down 10.5 billion to P&L just this year. They were lagging 8 billion from P&L perspective for the last 3 years, 2019, 2020, and 2021. So they're technically down 18.5 billion at present. But they're also down a lot less than that in terms of comprehensive income, which is still something in the region of, say, 6 billion or whatever it is. I have to work it out. But yeah, they're still trading either way. So just having a record quarter doesn't necessarily mean things are really turning around for a company. They've still got some work to do in terms of being able to make sure. Oh, and they've also got some work to do in terms of being able to make a profit while having windfall taxes put on them. So let's see how much they actually get out of a hole this year and then into next year. Anyway, this is a bit of a political issue, and but it's just interesting. I like, oh, hang on. As per usual, nobody mentioned the fact they lost 20 billion in 2020, right, which actually was 22 billion with the actual comprehensive income added onto it, right? And then this year now they made 9.5 billion record profits, but they're still down 10.5 billion. Anyway, that's just example of how these quarterly earnings and any sensations around them not necessarily going to be giving you the best picture you can look at. Bye.